The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of Central Kentucky high school basketball starts now.
Good evening, everyone, from Frederick Douglass High School in Lexington. Welcome to another broadcast of Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod. I'm Keith Elkins, along with Rick Reeves, and Jackson Miller is our producer tonight. We welcome you to Frederick Douglass, where the host Frederick Douglass Broncos will take on the Dunbar Bulldogs in a matchup of city teams tonight. And Rick, two teams, at least record-wise, going in the opposite directions right now. We expect Dunbar to battle hard, but they'll be the underdog in this one.
Oh, definitely. You know, it's kind of a two teams in different states here right now. Laurence Dunbar undergoing a 4-game losing streak, having some tough games. Took a tough loss last night, 81-52 at Lexington Catholic, which is not an easy place to play, but also just 2-7 against 11 Regions foe. Then you go on the opposite side of the spectrum. You look at Frederick Douglass, 13-game winning streak, 7-2 in the 11th. Against those foes. Had a great game last night. Won it on the last-second tip-in shot by Armello Boone against a tough Madison Central team. So I think the key, though, tonight, Keith, at least one of them for both these teams, how do they respond coming back in less than 24 hours?
That will be a key, and, of course, for Douglass, they had to make do without Kai Simpson last night, and it looks like he will be back tonight, at least at the start of the ball game. But as maybe a substitute for not having their star player available, they really turned up the defensive pressure, and Dunbar seemed fairly vulnerable to that against Lexington Catholic last night. So we can look for this very athletic Douglass team to take on that strategy again tonight, I would think.
Yeah, they're going to put pressure and they're going to push pace, and that's what Frederick Douglass likes to do. They got a little bit out of their game in the first quarter last night. We'll talk about it with Coach Scarberry, but they got down 17-6 in the first quarter. But in something that's hard to see, the second quarter of the score flip-flop, 17-6 in favor of Douglass. Douglass really came out missing Kai Simpson's leadership, but then they were able to kind of turn the corner, had some good plays from some players that maybe don't play quite as much. Terry Kaysen had a great game, a lot of rebounds and everything in there. But that's one of those things, we talked about it before the game last night. It's literally the next man up, because you can't do anything. If your best player is out with the flu, then you're going to have someone else step up.
One other word on Dunbar. They have lost 4 in a row, as you mentioned, but 3 of those losses were pretty close ball games. In fact, 2 of them were 1-point ball games, so they're not that far away from having a significantly better record, but still trying to put things together.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. The good news is, really, in the state of Kentucky, everyone gets into the districts. So these games are just building towards that. You can take some losses. I mean, it hurts yourself, your feelings maybe a little bit, and your confidence a little bit. But what you're doing now is, in late January, you're building towards the end of February when the district tournament is. And we've seen it before. Teams have come out and had tough regular seasons and come back out and had a great postseason run.
Well, we'll see what happens with Dunbar and Douglass tonight here at Frederick Douglass High School. The Broncos and the Bulldogs going at it here on Glycod. We appreciate you being with us, and we look forward to the ball game tonight. Much more of our pregame show ahead. We'll talk to both coaches and get their views on tonight's game. That's all coming up on the pregame show here on Glycod.
New teen drivers are at greater risk for car crashes, particularly at night and during the first few months without adult supervision. Checkpoints is a free 1-hour educational program held monthly at the Jessamine Career and Technology Center in Nicholasville. It will help you help your teen be safer when they become a new independent driver. For more details, including program incentives and how to register, visit the Jessamine County Health Department's website at jessaminehealth.org.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking, insurance, investments, and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Looking for new ways to connect with your customer? Did you know that local grassroots marketing is the most effective? For a successful economic approach, email info@glycod.com or call 502-551-5027.
Donating plasma is an easy way to earn up to $600 a month as a new donor while saving lives. That's right. Every donation you make helps patients in need survive and thrive. Returning donors also see monthly bonus payouts and I Give rewards points. Go to cslplasma.com to learn more about plasma donation. CSL Plasma. Good for you, great for life.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Different than it was. How do you see your teams standing at this point in the season?
Well, you know, the 11th region, in this Central Kentucky basketball, there's no nights that you could take off. Lexington Catholic, to me, is probably one of the top teams, if not the top team in the state of Kentucky. And last night, they shot the ball unbelievable. And we just don't have anyone to match up with Reese Potter, and having to double team him, and they hit every kick out 3 out of the double team last night. So it was a tough night, but I got a resilient bunch. We met this morning and we talked about Frederick Douglass and what we need to do in order to change our destiny at the end of the game. We don't really talk about streaks. I'm not even aware if we've won or lost a bunch in a row. I know we lost our last game. So we just try to get better every day and see what we can muster up tonight against a well-coached Douglass team.
It does become a bit of a grind, I would say, at this time of the season. You're playing back-to-back games, as many teams are now, trying to get ready for tournament play, as everybody wants to. You're likely to face some of that pressure again tonight with Douglass. It's a very athletic team, so you probably got a good look at that last night in a way.
Yeah, Douglass on film, you know, I hadn't got to see him in person, but I know Coach Scar very well. A quick backstory. When I first got to Dunbar last year, I actually hired Wes.
Oh, okay.
And Wes was going to be my assistant coach, and because of some personal things, he wasn't able to do it. And then just how fortunate he is to come into this job here at Douglass. I know they got the right guy. I got a tremendous amount of respect for him and what he stands for as a man, even more so than coach. And I know that he's got these kids playing hard. They're a well-balanced team led by the Simpson kid. But I'm scared. I'm big on numbers. I know Simpson just from AAU and being around, but number 2 and you know, and then Mello Boone with the most catchy name. I think Mello Boone's got the most catchy name in the state of Kentucky. Those guys are dangerous, and you know, they've won 2 close games this week against Madison Central and Henry Clay, which are very respectable programs, and so we'll have our hands full, so we'll see.
It's always a team game, but your team has to have a leader. Nick Spalding has provided a lot of offense for your team this year. Tell me about the type of player that he is.
Well, Nick, he can score the basketball, you know, and when he's shooting the ball well, he's tough to guard. You know, because he is carrying such a load, sometimes he puts a little bit too much on his shoulders, but he's capable. There's nights, he's had a couple of 40-point games this year. He's had several 30-plus games. He's one of the premier scorers in Central Kentucky. We just got to get the supporting cast to be consistent on their role. And if we do that, we're trying to peak at the right time. I don't believe anyone wants to play us come tournament time.
You've been a college coach for many years. Tell me the biggest difference in coaching at the college level and coaching these high school kids.
Oh, I could talk for days about that. But the biggest difference, and something that I'm struggling with, is you don't have a lot of practice time in high school. You know, also spending time with the guys outside of practice. You know, sometimes you don't see the young people until practice on the high school level, and so they only get the hard-nosed part of you as a coach. And they don't get to spend time with you coming by during the day, or maybe even an individual workout, or just sitting around the office and talking about life and basketball. That's been a major adjustment for me, because sometimes you don't see these kids until practice time, and then you got a tight 2-hour window, and you don't have the time to build relationships that you do on the college level, and even work on the skill, the skill factor during the season. Because each practice you're preparing for a game, so it's hard to get the skill development that you would get on the college level. So that's something that I've struggled with, along with film study, teaching kids to study their craft and how to take it serious. And we live in a highlight culture right now. So those hard truths when you watch film, and getting 14, 15, and 16-year-olds to understand that I'm not criticizing you, I'm just trying to get you to the next level of performance. It's been an adjustment. Yeah.
Well, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back on Glycod.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
Community strong, serving Lawrenceburg for 20 years, Century Bank is Anderson County's locally owned bank. With a full suite of deposit, loan, and online products, plus a knowledgeable, friendly staff, Century makes everyday banking simple. Located at 201 West Woodford Street, with online banking at centurybankky.com. Century Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
Want to replace your old, rotted, and drafty windows? What would your house look like with the newest and high-quality windows on the market? With just one call to Metro Windows, you can choose from a great selection of aluminum-clad, vinyl, and rot-free windows at an affordable price. And Metro Windows can also replace just the glass and failed windows, too. Their installers are Oldham County residents that take pride in their work and craftsmanship. Metro Windows has been locally owned for over 30 years and is the proud carrier of the Windsor window line. Give Metro Windows a call today at 222-7828. That's 222-7828, Metro Windows.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville, or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Keith Elkins along with Rick Reams at Frederick Douglass High School as Douglass gets set to take on Dunbar here in just a few minutes. And we've watched the teams go through some of the warm-up drills, and the Dunbar team has returned to the locker room now for some final words from Coach Murray Garvin. Rick, keys to the ball game tonight. What does Dunbar need to do?
Well, with Dunbar, you've got to withstand the pressure and the pace that Douglas is going to throw at you. If you're Dunbar, you do not want to get into a running game with Douglas, because that's what they thrive on. Coach Scarberry, you're going to hear him. He talks about that. Their defense makes their offense better, and that's what they want to do. They're going to have to. I mean, you had a tough loss last night, almost a 30-point loss against Lexington Catholic. First of all, you got to put that game out of your mind, but you also have to try to withstand not only the pressure and the pace, but you've got to know that you're going to be tired, and you've got to figure out ways to deal with that, as will Douglas. Both teams are going to be tired, but you've got to deal with that, because these games, the reason they're playing back-to-back is you're going to have it in the district and in the region.
And then for the Douglas club tonight, of course, they had the dramatic win last night, the last second follow by Armello Boone to give them the victory. And, of course, they want to keep things going, and Kai Simpson may be available tonight. In fact, he's going to start the game, so that certainly makes a difference for Douglas.
Yeah, it does. But, it's still going to be that next man up mentality for Douglas, because Kai Simpson, we've all had the flu or some sickness like that, and you just don't come back right away from that. Coach Scarberry is going to talk about they're going to limit his time tonight, so they've got to get good play again from a Noah Jones or someone like that can come in and do it. And if you're Douglas, you want to continue that momentum. I mean, that was a great game last night, a great victory after being down, coming back and getting that win. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to come in here too high and run yourself out of the gym, run yourself tired right off the bat. But what they want to do is they want to get a big lead against Dunbar and keep it and kind of put it on cruise control. But you can't do that too much or you're going to lose a game.
As you mentioned, they fell behind 17-6 last night. It looked like it took them just a little while to figure out how are we going to play this game without Simpson. And then Coach Scarberry no doubt put the emphasis on let's tighten up on defense and let our defense become a little bit of our offense, and it certainly worked. It made a huge difference.
It did. It was a totally different game. As I said earlier on, it was 17-6. They were down in the first quarter. The second quarter, they got 17-6 to go 23-all at halftime, and it was nip and tack back from there. That game's going to pay dividends for both teams. Madison Central learned, some valuable lessons in losing that game, but Douglas learned that they can play without Kai Simpson. But the nice thing we talked about last night is when you get him back, you can say we don't have to play without him, but you guys that stepped up when he was not in, we need you to continue to step up.
Douglas 16-2 now, 7-2 in the region. Dunbar 6-13 and 2-7 in 11th region play, and they'll go at it in just a few minutes here at Frederick Douglass High School. Our pregame show will continue. We'll hear from Douglas head coach Wes Scarberry, and Rick talked to him a few minutes ago, and we'll hear that interview right after we come back on Glycod.
New teen drivers are at greater risk for car crashes, particularly at night and during the first few months without adult supervision. Checkpoints is a free 1-hour educational program held monthly at the Jessamine Career and Technology Center in Nicholasville. It will help you help your teen be safer when they become a new independent driver. For more details, including program incentives and how to register, visit the Jessamine County Health Department's website at jessaminehealth.org.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking, insurance, investments, and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Looking for new ways to connect with your customer? Did you know that local grassroots marketing is the most effective? For a successful economic approach, email info@glycod.com or call 502-551-5027.
Donating plasma is an easy way to earn up to $600 a month as a new donor while saving lives. That's right. Every donation you make helps patients in need survive and thrive. Returning donors also see monthly bonus payouts and I Give rewards points. Go to cslplasma.com to learn more about plasma donation. CSL Plasma. Good for you, great for life.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
This is Rick Reams. We're back at Douglas High School again, talking to Coach Wes Garberry after a big victory last night. Coach, you told me in the pregame, you said you're going to see your defense early on. You got down 17-6. Second quarter, you came back. You were up 17-6, 23-all. What did you think about your team's play in the first half?
Well, I thought initially we struggled, obviously, first quarter. Without Kai, I think our offense was very sluggish. We weren't getting into our sets quick enough. Our motion, our movement wasn't very good. So we decided second quarter just to pick up the pace a little bit defensively. We started doing a run and jump trap, and that seemed to get us going. And that's pretty much what's happened all year. You know, our defense, when it's really good, our offense is really good. So our team kind of thrives on that. So I think the defensive pressure is what made a big difference after that first quarter.
Yeah, and it was a back and forth game all the way to the very end. What did you learn about your team last night without Kai?
Well, a lot of guys stepped up. I mean, I was concerned, obviously, going in without your leading scorer and point guard. I was just happy how they came together, especially after getting down early. I was really concerned with what may happen, getting down. We just didn't seem really into it that first quarter. But our sophomore, I can't say enough good things about them. And they've grown so much this year. And they don't play like sophomores. Playing against a team of that caliber with senior leadership and some of the top players in the region and state, I was really impressed with that and just how they came together. And even when it was getting tied and that last play, just to have the mindset to attack the rim and transition. We do some of that stuff in practice and situational drills. So Noah Jones really stepped up and took that point guard role last night. So I was really pleased with how he played. Just everybody, we said if we can have 4 guys in double figures, we'll win pretty much every game. And pretty much through this stretch, we've had that. Guys aren't thinking about themselves; they're thinking about the team. That's been a big thing for us.
Absolutely. So is Kai going to play tonight?
He's going to give it a go. He came in earlier today and worked out with Coach Wilson, our assistant coach. I seem to be feeling okay, so we think he's going to give it a go. We'll probably limit his minutes a little bit. He's still probably a little weak, so we're kind of big game time call and just kind of see how he does when he gets in there.
So you played less than 24 hours ago. You told me before the interview this team's tired. You're going to have to bring energy. Is this team able to manufacture that energy, or is that something you're waiting to see?
I think they can. We've done this for several weeks now. We've played back-to-back games and played pretty well in the second of those games. So I'm not really concerned with that. It's that initial energy. I know that Dunbar also played last night, a big district game against Lexington Catholic, so it won't be a whole lot different to 2 teams and how they're feeling right now. So our mindset has to be right going in, and defense has got to be our initial mindset. Obviously, Dunbar's got some great players and very well coached, so it's just I want us to get off to a good start tonight. Again, it's kind of my focus. We don't want to get down and have to fall back like we did last night.
So what you talked about, Dunbar, good players, good coaching. What do you expect to see from them tonight coming out here again after a big loss last night to Catholic?
Well, Coach Garvin's a good friend of mine. Obviously, Nick Spalding's one of the best players in the region. Terrific guard, can do pretty much anything offensively. So he'll kind of be our focus and what we're trying to accomplish tonight defensively. Max Van Dyke's a great shooter. I saw he got over his 1,000th point a couple weeks ago. Great shooter, but also can take you off the dribble. So their guard play is really good. This is a team that they don't have a whole lot of size, which most of the teams we played recently have had that. So they match up with us pretty well, and vice versa. So it'll be a good test for us to play against some good guards that they have.
Well, you're on the 13-game winning streak. You're going for number 14 tonight.
It's a crazy question, but what does a streak mean to you as a coach, a first-year coach here at Douglas?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, it's coming in and not having the football players. We got half a team. We've talked about that, and just to kind of get through those first couple weeks, and until those guys came on board, and then, like I said, I think third week of December we had that whole week of practice to get everybody on the same page, and we haven't looked back since then. It does mean a lot to me, just taking over the program late, really not having some of these guys at all until they came from football. Just to, it's a tribute to them as players and how they get along with each other. And we've developed a kind of a family atmosphere in the locker room and in practice, and grinding through Christmas break and the holiday tournaments, and now grinding through district play and some of these tough region teams. Really a tribute to them, our coaching staff, just to be able to stay together. And we haven't really hit that adversity yet. Probably coming, at some point. We hope it doesn't, but we kind of expect it to at some point. Now it'll really be a test to me, whenever that does happen, the streak ends. Kind of how we'll respond to that is kind of what I'm interested in seeing. Hopefully that won't happen, but if it does, I'm anxious to see how we respond.
Absolutely. Well, let's see if that streak, all you can do is play one game at a time.
One game at a time.
We'll go with this one and win today. We appreciate you letting us be here. Great game last night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time. Have a blessed night.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
We'll be right back on Glycod.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
Community strong, serving Lawrenceburg for 20 years, Century Bank is Anderson County's locally owned bank. With a full suite of deposit, loan, and online products, plus a knowledgeable, friendly staff, Century makes everyday banking simple. Located at 201 West Woodford Street with online banking at centurybankky.com. Century Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
Want to replace your old, rotted, and drafty windows? What would your house look like with the newest and high-quality windows on the market? With just one call to Metro Windows, you can choose from a great selection of aluminum-clad, vinyl, and rot-free windows at an affordable price. And Metro Windows can also replace just the glass and failed windows, too. Their installers are Oldham County residents that take pride in their work and craftsmanship. Metro Windows has been locally owned for over 30 years and is the proud carrier of the Windsor window line. Give Metro Windows a call today at 222-7828. That's 222-7828, Metro Windows.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Back at Frederick Douglass High School as game time approaches. We have one more pregame break to get to you, so let's take that right now. We'll come back with the starting lineups and the start of tonight's ball game in just a moment on Glycod.
New teen drivers are at greater risk for car crashes, particularly at night and during the first few months without adult supervision. Checkpoints is a free 1-hour educational program held monthly at the Jessamine Career and Technology Center in Nicholasville. It will help you help your teen be safer when they become a new independent driver. For more details, including program incentives and how to register, visit the Jessamine County Health Department's website at jessaminehealth.org.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking, insurance, investments, and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Looking for new ways to connect with your customer? Did you know that local grassroots marketing is the most effective? For a successful economic approach, email info@glycod.com or call 502-551-5027.
Donating plasma is an easy way to earn up to $600 a month as a new donor while saving lives. That's right. Every donation you make helps patients in need survive and thrive. Returning donors also see monthly bonus payouts and I Give Rewards points. Go to cslplasma.com to learn more about plasma donation. CSL Plasma. Good for you, great for life.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Back at Frederick Douglass High School, getting ready for game time tonight, Douglass and Dunbar. And let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups for the visiting Dunbar Bulldogs tonight. It'll be Nick Spalding, their leading scorer, 6-foot senior, 21 points a ball game, a high of 43 this year. He'll be joined in the starting lineup by Max Van Dyke, a 6'2 senior, averaging 13 points a game. Mason Van Dyke is in the starting lineup tonight, a 5'8 sophomore, averaging 4 points, a couple of rebounds a game. Had 12 in the game against Ashland Blazer. Tyler Gadd is in the starting lineup tonight for Dunbar, and he's a 6'1 senior, averaging just under 5 points a ball game. And also joining them in the starting lineup tonight is Cade Hilt. Cade Hilt, a 6'3 senior, averaging 12 points a game. So it's Spalding, number 2, Max Van Dyke, number 31, Cade Hilt, number 0, Mason Van Dyke, number 15, and Tyler Gadd, number 12, for the Dunbar Bulldogs tonight, who will be wearing their dark gray uniforms with the red numerals tonight for the Bulldogs. Now for Frederick Douglass, for the homestanding Broncos, it'll be Kai Simpson back in the lineup tonight after missing a game due to illness. 6'2 senior, averaging 18 points, 6 rebounds a ball game. He'll be joined in the lineup by Armello Boone, who had the game-winning shot last night, a follow shot to give the Broncos a win over Madison Central. 6'1 sophomore, 16 points a ball game, and 4 rebounds, and on his way to becoming one of the better players in this region. Avion Chenault is in the starting lineup tonight for Frederick Douglass. 6'3 sophomore, 13 points a ball game. Also tonight, number 5, Tylen Webb, a 6'3 senior, will be in the lineup for the Broncos, and joining them will be number 24, Logan Busen. So it's Simpson, number 4, Marmello Boone, number 1, Avion Chenault, number 2, Tylen Webb, number 5, and Logan Busen, number 24, for the Frederick Douglass Broncos tonight as we get set to get started.
It's going to be a great game here tonight. Look over on Dunbar's coaching bench there and see former great from Lafayette, Tony Wilson, coaching this team. So good to see Tony out here. And he's given a lot of time to Lexington basketball, and he's continuing that now.
That's one of the better teams I ever have seen in person, that 1979 Lafayette team that Tony played on. Here's the tip controlled by the Bulldogs. Spalding operating in the corner. Now takes it out front. He's got good range on his shot. Bounce pass goes inside. Spalding takes the handoff, and around the right side he goes and draws a foul on his first attempt.
Yeah, that's what they want to do is you want to take that ball to the basket. If the three-pointers come, you go ahead and take them, but especially early on in the game, you want to take it in, try to get some fouls, early fouls on the Broncos, and then get to the free throw line and make some baskets.
Spalding to the line. Good right-handed shot. Spins out of there, though. You can see he's got nice form on the shot.
68% free throw shooter on the year, so try to jack that up a little bit as they get into postseason play.
Missed them both, so Dunbar misses out on the opportunity to take the early lead, and the Broncos will come up court on offense, being met by some pressure before crossing the line. Kai Simpson. Then over on the right side it goes. The drive by Chenault, spins, puts it up with the left hand, no good. Gets his own board, puts it back up and in.
Yeah, he's got a really good inside game there, and it's a good look. You just don't give up on that. Get your rebound and put it back in the basket.
Spalding heads right down that lane, but then lost control, and Douglas has it going the other way. Picked up and put in by Armello Boone, and a quick 4-0 lead for the Broncos.
There's that pressure we talked about.
They tried to go for Spalding cutting down the middle, but it was knocked away.
Dunbar came out with some pressure. A lot of times if you're playing against a team that pressures, you like to pressure them to see how they handle it.
And the jumper off the right side by Spalding is good.
Yeah, that's one thing on that inbounds play. If you're Frederick Douglass, you do not want Spalding to get that ball. And if you're Paul Dunbar, that's exactly what you want.
Broncos on offense, leading 4-2. Ball goes inside and now off to the baseline where driving is Chenault, and he draws a foul.
Yeah, Chenault really does a great job of flashing that baseline. Got in there that time. Had their first basket. It's going to get there tonight. Dunbar's going to have to find a way to stop him. He's really quick.
Chenault, a nice shot on the first one. It's a 5-2 lead.
It's one thing Douglas wants to improve on. They had a rough night at the free throw line last night. It didn't end up hurting them in the end, but it was close. They left 9 or 10 points on the free throw line.
And the second shot good. It's now 6-2. Boone picking up the ball as it comes across the line, and now in the corner. The long shot from there is good. Max Van Dyke.
Nice shot there by Van Dyke. We heard that he had scored his 1,000th point last week, and you can see why. Nice three-point shot there.
Now a tip and a steal by Dunbar at midcourt. The pass down below and the dunk, and the Bulldogs rallying now. Have taken a 7-6 lead.
Good job by Henry Clay there. By Dunbar.
And the pass sails out of bounds, and suddenly Dunbar has come alive.
Cade Hilt last time got open and went down there. A nice dunk, and it's right now Dunbar. This is where Dunbar wants to be. Douglas wants to put a little more pressure and get some turnovers.
Yeah, Hilt a 6'3" senior, but he was way up on that last possession to get the dunk. Driving is Spalding. It's slapped away, blocked at the last second. He got an opening there, went down the lane. Looked like it was open, but closed up in a hurry, didn't it?
Avion Chenault just does it. He's got a really quick leaper there and did a good job getting that shot blocked.
Hilt looking, and it comes in now. And a
stepped on the
turnover
sideline.
Was he on the sideline? That was Spalding, it looked like, as they passed into him. They look for him a lot.
Yeah, on a new court, although the courts are all the same size, it's tough sometimes to see where that line is. This one, there's no white line. It's green, which is out, and court color, which is in.
Down to Busen underneath, and he battles for the basket.
Busen does a really good job on the inside, too, in the lane there. Has a lot of spinning moves. Last night got a couple fouls on him, so if you're Douglas, you want to know that, and make sure he doesn't spin into too many charges.
Mason Van Dyke goes to Spalding in the corner. Backs it out of there. Now bounce pass into Hilt, and he puts it in.
Good play there. Flash the post, get it in there, and turn and put it in the basket.
5:13 to go first quarter. Now a shot off the side by Webb, and it's missed, and now Dunbar running the other way with it. Bounce pass stolen away by Webb. He got back there.
Good defense.
Here come the Broncos on the run. Simpson clears some room and then misses the jumper. It's a Dunbar rebound by Gadd. And then off to Haggard.
Clearing some room is a nice way to say that could have been an offensive
foul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's opening up some space there.
Yeah, with that, if you're the defender, you got to fall and make the referee make that call.
Yeah. Scramble for the ball, and 2 players on top. They tried to get a timeout for Dunbar. Van Dyke did, but unsuccessful, I think.
Good hustle there by both teams. It's going to be alternate possession. Douglas will have the ball.
Here's Noah Jones. He's been seeing a lot of minutes for Douglas.
That's what you see here about halfway through the first quarter, and they're going to take Simpson out.
Webb on the side. Now back out to Jones. Starts a drive. He's cut off, though. Gets it at the free throw line. Buson's pass knocked away and intercepted. Spalding's got it for Dunbar. Moves to the right side. And then a nice pass underneath. There's the layup. And it's 11-8.
Well, good play there. Just a backdoor cut. I'll tell you what, really looking good. Their offense is really doing a great job tonight.
11-8. Bulldogs on top now. A big collision as they neared the Douglas basket, and Van Dyke is able to successfully draw the charge.
Yeah, that's one thing. You can't go in there, under a lot of duress and not in control, because that's going to happen. You're going to get that charging call.
Webb put some pressure on in backcourt, but the ball is inbounded. Gadd's going to drive it across the line. Now Spalding floats it in there. Into the corner it goes. And the jump shot off the baseline is good. That was Mason Van Dyke, I believe.
Yeah, nice left-handed shot there. They're looking really good.
Yeah, nice touch and nice move and good passing to set it up, too. 13-8 is the score. Dunbar playing very well in this first quarter. 3.5 minutes to go. Pass comes in underneath. They wanted to walk before that happened, but the pass is stolen anyway. Drive and the shot is blocked. And coming out of there with it is Chenault. He heads down the lane. Lost the ball, but what's the call?
Going to be a block there. Just didn't get set there. Paul Laurence Dunbar's come out and they're playing a little bit of a junk zone defense that's giving Douglas a lot of problems right now. With that kind of defense, you got to flash the middle, but the problem is Douglas is trying to make that one more pass and just making turnovers.
Broncos with the ball in there into the court. Good pressure applied by Dunbar as they work it in the half-court set. Noah Jones with it outside, guarded by Max Van Dyke. Now driving is Webb. Got it to Chenault. Now back out in front it goes. And Boone had it knocked away momentarily. Now starts to make a move. And now it is stolen. Here is Haggard with it, driving for Dunbar just into the ball game. Puts it up and in.
Nice hands there by Dunbar. They've gotten a lot of deflections, a lot of turnovers right now. Douglas is not doing a good job of taking care of the ball.
Here's a long one. Good by Boone.
Yeah, and with that defense, that shot's going to be there. He's going to have to take it and hit it.
15-11 the score. As we near the 2-minute mark in the first quarter. Cade Hilt looking for some room. Now moving on the dribble. Finds a little room down that lane. It's knocked away, but a foul.
Yeah, on that one, it got the block, but there was a lot of bodying going on underneath. So he's doing a really good job of taking that ball to the basket. Like I say, he's only 6'3", but really active in the lane.
So Hilt, 67% free throw shooter, nails the first one. He also showed the patience. He kind of let the spacing evolve there, and it wasn't there the first time he started in, and then he saw it open up for him.
Yeah, and that's a good play by him because that's got Buson's second foul. He's going to have to come out for extended minutes.
16-11 the score after 1 of 2 for Hilt. Dunbar defense has Douglas trying to figure it out right now, don't they?
It's like a 1-3-1. Yeah, don't see it very often. That's one thing that's a little hard.
Long one off the hands of Boone. That one's in.
Yeah, if you're going to play a 1-3-1, that's one place. Those edges at the three-point line are going to be open.
That was a three-pointer by Boone. It's now 16-14 Dunbar. Bulldogs looking for their 7th win of the season. Douglas 16 wins and a 14-game winning streak. Shot going by is good. Nice touch by Van Dyke.
Yeah, nice play there. High arching shot.
There's Max Van Dyke with the basket. 18-14. Dunbar the leader. Down the middle and the dish to the side, and a nice shot by Boone in the corner. Or by Webb, rather.
Yeah, another three-pointer by Webb. Nice play there.
Bulldogs attack quickly. Pull-up jumper, no good. By Van Dyke, and now Douglas has it coming the other way. There's Boone down the middle, elevates, and missed the shot, got his own, and follows it in.
Nice job there by Boone. Kind of broke him down, got into the lane, missed his shot, but again, didn't give up on it, got his offensive rebound and put it back in for the lead.
19-18. The Broncos on top now. Spinning move by Spalding. Nice shot.
Nice job there by Spalding. He does a really good job of getting to where he wants and elevates quickly.
Boone handling the ball, 10 points for him in this first quarter.
Going to hold for the last shot.
There's the shot out of the corner, and that one is no good. And the rebound to Dunbar. Spalding trying to hurry it up and give the Bulldogs a last shot. Van Dyke has it bounce high off the rim and
hit
over the board.
Yeah, hit the chain up top there. And, you know, I think both those teams took shots a little earlier than they would have liked. You wanted to really hold that out. Both of them took contested three-point shots, not the shots they wanted.
Final seconds of the first quarter. Shot is missed. Van Dyke off with the rebound. Late with the long one. And we've come to the end of the first quarter of play with the score. Dunbar 20 and Douglas 19. So the visitors on top after one. And we'll come back with the second quarter of action in just a moment on Glycod.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Back for the second quarter of action here at Frederick Douglass High School, and a really good competitive ball game. Dunbar coming out playing some tough defense and converting on offense too.
Yeah, they've gotten some steals. They've really got active hands tonight, getting some deflections, some steals, hitting some big shots down there that take the 20-19 lead. They've got to be pleased with where they are. Douglas got behind again early. Coach Scarberry talked about he wanted to start this game quickly, wasn't able to do that, but now they want to kind of build on the momentum from that first quarter, and you're going to see some more of Kai Simpson, I think, in this quarter, see if he can get on track a little bit offensively.
20-19 the score. Dunbar with the lead and the ball as we start quarter number 2 here at Frederick Douglass High School. Nick Spalding looking for room, drives down the right side, hooks it over in the corner. Haggard takes aim from there, missed the shot. Rebound tapped outside, but Chenault has it for Douglas. There is Simpson, battling the illness that kept him out of the game last night. Douglas got an exciting win over Madison Central by 2. Now driving is Boone, and he is fouled.
Got to reach in there. Ben Haggard got his first foul, third team foul there, but trying to stop Boone, which is not an easy task.
No, not at all. Very athletic. Armello Boone, 6'1" sophomore. Very, very promising player. Already a great player. Now the bounce pass stolen away. Mason Van Dyke has it. Fires it cross court to Max Van Dyke. Ball's knocked away from him and toward the end line, and it'll go over the end line and go back to Dunbar.
Yeah, good play there. That was a tough entry pass there by Kai Simpson. It was stolen by Van Dyke, and they went down the court. So, again, Dunbar's looking good so far.
Terry Kaysen into the ball game for Douglas. He had a fine ball game last night.
Yeah, a very impressive game last night.
Tried to come in into the basket. The ball stolen away. Here's Chenault driving. Tries that Euro step. Puts it up and in, and it's going to count.
Good job there by Chenault. You know, one thing you got to know is if you're playing against Chenault, he's going to go to that left side. So you got to force him to the right side. And that time they weren't able to do it. And like you said, a nice Euro step and a chance for an and one.
21-20 the score as Douglas takes the lead. And the shot rolls in for the three-point play. 22-20, a two-point margin for the Broncos as the Bulldogs work against that defense.
Now the Broncos are going into a trap there. Coach is going to call a timeout. I mean, he had to. There was a lot of confusion on that trap defense there. We're losing the lights in here. So.
Yeah, getting a little darker in here as we come to a timeout with 6:55 to go in the second quarter. There are the lights back on. Want to take a short break here, or we'll keep it here? Okay. Again, the Dunbar Bulldogs facing some pressure from that Douglas defense. They've switched up now and showed them a different look, and so throwing different things at them. But so far, Dunbar's been able to respond.
They are, and that's one thing you're going to notice about this Douglas team is they will constantly be changing defenses. It's interesting. They kind of do it in waves. They don't do it, possession after possession. It's just all of a sudden, like in that one, that was a good timeout because they caught Dunbar off guard with that trapping press there, and they're going to stay in that.
Ball comes into Mason Van Dyke as we resume play. Floats it across to Haggard, now back to Van Dyke. In the corner it goes and bounced inside. Spalding with a short jumper, hits off the rim, and Douglas has it.
A good shot there. He's not going to miss that very often.
Yeah, he had a good touch with that right hand, and really had to battle to get points against Catholic last night, especially in that second half. But he is an excellent player, and as we said, had a season high of 43 earlier this year. There's Simpson coming down the lane and tried to dish off to the right. Now Simpson's got it again in the corner, guarded by Haggard.
A lot of patience here by Douglas.
Now this time, tried to clear the space, and this time the whistle blew.
That's a good call. And again, if you're playing defense and that arm comes up like that, you have to fall to make that referee make that call. Just getting pushed off, as we saw in the first quarter with Kai Simpson, he did not do that, and the defender did not fall and didn't get the call. But that time you force the official to make the call, and Boone's going to come out and get a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, Webb is back in for him, and now Dunbar has it, trailing by 2. They're looking for the trap as they come up court. Bulldogs operating in the corner. Spalding tried to get in there, and he does get it to in the middle of the lane and made the short jumper.
Yeah, good pass there by Hilt. He's having a really nice game. Took it down, found Spalding for a wide open in the lane shot.
Long pass cross court, but rescued by Chenault. Spins into the lane, puts it up and in.
Yeah, nice play there, that spin move. And like I say, he's just so quick, and he's going to go to that left hand and get to a basket.
Again, Dunbar having to expend some energy coming up court against that trapping Douglas defense.
And Douglas drops back into a man-to-man off that trapping press.
Driving is Van Dyke, gets it to Mason Van Dyke. This one's short and out of bounds. Wicker, you've got the view from the end of the court that the Dunbar guards have as they face that defense. That can be intimidating.
Absolutely, because they come out flying on all those shots, and that one just, he thought he might have gotten hit, but it ended up not getting hit and just shot an air ball there. But yeah, it's tough defense.
5 minutes to go before halftime.
Dunbar's going to pull their pressure out a little bit more also.
Broncos look inside. They go to Busen. He operates there, gets it underneath the basket, but that one is knocked away, and Webb is unable to get it in the basket. Here is Spalding with it for Dunbar. Down the lane he goes, dishes to the side. And now the Bulldogs will reset. Spalding with the fake. Now has it knocked away, but gets it back. And the shot off the right wing. Bounces high, no good.
Busen with the rebound, got him back in with 2 fouls.
And driving is Chenault again, puts it up with the left hand, got it, and the foul.
Yeah, good play there. You know what? He did not get the straight-on charge, which was a great play. He went off to the side, got the block, and another and one, and that was the correct call. The player was there, but he jumped off to the side, and there was no way to get a charge on that. He's having a great game tonight, a very athletic player for Douglas.
The left-hander on the way. This one a little too hard, and rebound to Spalding of Dunbar. 26-22 Broncos. Haggard goes in the corner to Van Dyke. Now a drive across the lane. Now the bounce pass inside. Spalding turns quickly, fakes and goes the other way, but they were ready for him. And the long pass results in a layup by Busen.
Yeah, that was Hilt in the lane. He got spun around, but once again, we talked about that defense of Douglas. They help each other, and they're such good leapers. They got that shot blocked and came down for an easy layup.
It was Dixon on the defense now in the ball game. Now the shot missed at the Dunbar end, and Simpson with a shot off the right side. That one's no good, and
yeah,
now we'll get a foul.
Going to get a technical foul. On Spalding thought he got fouled, and I'm not sure he wasn't right, but you got to keep your cool there. Said something to the official and got a quick technical foul, which, you know, that hurts your team, but sometimes you get a little bit of frustration, and he doesn't want to take it too much further there. So
no, that's right. That's not gonna help you in the long run. Although he has faced a lot of hands and bodies over the last two nights. Dunbar's leading scorer, but you can give the other team some points that way too. So here's the free throw by Webb is good.
Yeah. Broncos are starting to push this lead out a little bit.
29-22. And the second one also good.
So yeah, if you're Dunbar right there, you get the technical 2 free throws, and then Douglas gets the ball back for a chance for a 4 or 5 point play. So just one of those, you got to keep your emotions in check, but he did look like he got fouled. I will give him that, but you just got to get up and kind of shake it off the best you can.
Yeah. Here is Dixon coming into front court for Douglas. Into the corner it goes, and Simpson now a bounce pass toward the corner. Driving is Busen, and got it underneath. Simpson's shot wouldn't go, but he'll go to the line.
Yeah, nice look there from Busen. I would say Douglas is starting to kind of insert their will into this game and starting to push it out a little bit. Chance with 2 free throws to take this to a double-digit lead.
So a 2-shot foul here. That was the 7th foul on Dunbar, but Simpson in the act of shooting up there with the orange shoes and playing tonight after missing the game due to illness last night. Nice touch on the free throw.
Yeah, they were saying last night he had missed a couple days at school and everything, just wasn't feeling up to it, but worked him out this morning to make sure he was ready, and here he is.
And he's got a couple of points on the board, and now it's a 9-point Dunbar lead, and that seemed to just materialize after a very competitive first quarter and a half.
It really was, but Dunbar's having trouble with the Broncos athletic.
Spalding out in front. Now in the corner it goes. Hilt was driving, lost the ball, and now Douglas fast break the other way, and the big dunk by Chenault.
Yeah, Chenault went up with the right hand for the dunk, and Dunbar's doing a good job. You got to get a timeout here. A lot of momentum.
That's suddenly a 12-point lead for Frederick Douglass with 2:50 to go here in the second quarter, and we will take a break this time and be right back with more basketball on Glycod.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Keith Elkins along with Rick Reams, Jackson Miller, our producer. 34-22 the score, 2:50 to go in the second quarter as we continue in this timeout. Rick, we talked about the importance of the technical foul, but what else are you seeing that is helping Douglas push this game out to a 12-point margin?
Well, we just saw in the replay the defense that led to the dunk there, but, that's one thing we talked about. I talked about Dunbar's great job of deflections. Well, all of a sudden now Douglas is starting to do that. Active hands. They're starting to get a lot of steals, a lot of easy baskets to get this lead out to 12.
They back the pressure off this time as Dunbar comes up with Hilt handling the ball. Trying to go along the baseline. And inside it goes. Nice turnaround jumper by Spalding. Good touch, good elevation.
Yeah, he got a good pick to get it open and just rolled it there and put it right in the basket.
Cuts the lead to 10. Douglas back on the offense and driving is Simpson. Whips it in there for Busen. Goes up with it, had it blocked. Now a scramble for it, and Dixon comes out with it. Douglas maintains possession. Down the lane goes Chenault. Flips up over a defensive man. Couldn't get the shot to fall. No whistle, and now the Bulldogs are on the attack with Van Dyke looking for an opening.
Well, this is not a game for the faint of heart. A lot of.
And there is a foul committed as Dixon committed the foul.
Dixon reached in there on the floor.
Yeah, between the pace and these players just trying to force the action down the middle, you're going to get some collisions and potentially a lot of whistles. Not so far. Here's a nice jumper again by Spalding.
They do a really good job of finding him on the inbounds plays, and you can see why he's one of the best players in the region. Just a very smooth player. And cut this lead back to 8. Got their 1-3-1 going. Seeing what the Broncos can do against it this time.
Kai Simpson looks in. Being guarded by Van Dyke. Simpson spins away. Gets it over to Dixon. A long three. Good.
Nice play there. That's the quickest way to get a team out of the zone is to hit three-point shots.
37-26. Just under a minute and a half to go first half. Driving is Mason Van Dyke, looking, bounces it in there along the baseline, gets it back on cutting through, but the shot is blocked. And here comes Douglas on the break. Dixon fakes, now lets it go from the right side. No good. High up for the rebound is Webb, and he couldn't get it to fall. Now a foul.
Yeah, Simpson got over the back there. Got to kind of cool him down a little bit. The one thing is when there's a lot of rough play and there's not fouls called, these games can get out of hand. So the referees really have to kind of take control of this, but did a really good job there of keeping the Broncos off the boards and getting the basket there.
Dunbar basketball comes in to Hilt. Left side again to Mason Van Dyke, under a minute to go. Down the lane he goes, and then out to the corner. Spalding wants to find some room, and that time the whistle blows.
Going to call that on Douglas. The referee was shaking his head. He said, no, the grab was first before the push-off, so going to go to the free throw line with a 1-on-1, and again, something you need to watch. This game's getting very, very chippy, and that's one thing the officials have got to you've got to quit that. You've got to start calling things so this game doesn't get out of hand.
Free throw no good. Busen looking for an opening. Gets it out to Chris Wright. 5'8" sophomore, recently inserted into the lineup. Bounce pass to Busen, and he starts for the basket. Shot is short, but the follow is good by Chenault.
Yeah, Chenault, he's been the difference tonight, having a great first half.
Under 10 seconds to go in the first half now, and Douglas holding a 13-point lead. Spalding again driving, fakes. Gets it out to the side. The long one at the buzzer. No good by Van Dyke. And we've come to the end of the first half with the score. Frederick Douglass 39 and Dunbar 26. 39-26 the score at the half. Frederick Douglass Broncos in front as they try to extend that winning streak. And we'll come back and begin our halftime report in just a moment here on Glycod.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
Community strong, serving Lawrenceburg for 20 years, Century Bank is Anderson County's locally owned bank. With a full suite of deposit, loan, and online products, plus a knowledgeable, friendly staff, Century makes everyday banking simple. Located at 201 West Woodford Street with online banking at centurybankky.com. Century Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
Want to replace your old, rotted, and drafty windows? What would your house look like with the newest and high-quality windows on the market? With just one call to Metro Windows, you can choose from a great selection of aluminum-clad, vinyl, and rot-free windows at an affordable price. And Metro Windows can also replace just the glass and failed windows, too. Their installers are Oldham County residents that take pride in their work and craftsmanship. Metro Windows has been locally owned for over 30 years and is the proud carrier of the Windsor window line. Give Metro Windows a call today at 222-7828. That's 222-7828, Metro Windows.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Back at Frederick Douglass High School, halftime ceremony is going on now as the Broncos of Frederick Douglass lead the Dunbar Bulldogs 39-26 here at the break. I'm Keith Elkins. Rick Reams is here, and also Jackson Miller, our producer, and Isaac Goudlick on our camera work tonight. So we are glad that you have joined us for basketball here on Glycod. And Rick, we saw Dunbar very competitive and very sharp early in their execution, but Douglass beginning to edge away now, so these first few minutes of the second half are going to be really important for this Dunbar team.
Absolutely. This is going to be a key for Dunbar. What they can't do is let a 13-point lead blow out to 20 or 25 points. What they want to do is come out. They want to reassert themselves on offense, keep on getting the ball in Spalding's hands, and they just want to, on defense, they've got to, try to keep the drives from going, especially from Avion Chenault. Had a great first half, getting to the basket right now pretty much at will. And then the second thing I'm going to be interested to see is, can the referees kind of reel this in? This game's gotten very, very physical, a lot of talking, a lot of emotion. We saw that Spalding got a technical foul, which ended up being a 4-point play for Dunbar. So you just don't want to see that happen in a game like this. You want the referees to be able to keep it in hand, and let's just let these kids play ball.
Chenault, really a fine athlete, a fine basketball player, 6'3" sophomore. He came in averaging 13 points and 5 rebounds a game, 56% from the field. And tonight, unofficially, 15 points here at the break of the 39 that Douglass has scored. And so we're seeing his athletic ability, as you mentioned, on those drives down the lane. He can really elevate. He's confident in getting his shot off once he gets in there, and he doesn't seem to be afraid of the traffic at all either.
Right. No, he does a really good job in there. He's got a couple 3-point play opportunities, the way he's able to handle his body and stuff. The other thing you can see is his leaping ability on the defensive end. He's gotten some nice block shots, some big rebounds in there. And right now what we're seeing a lot is with Douglas's deflections, they're really causing some problems for Dunbar when Dunbar has the ball. And at this point in time, Dunbar stayed in that 1-3-1 zone. They've had some luck with it, but the more and more that Boone and other people hit three-pointers, it's harder to stay in that zone.
Nick Spalding has done some damage here in this first half. We've seen his nice jump shot. He's capable of being a high scorer. Obviously, Dunbar will have to look for him. They do have some other weapons, but he's usually their primary scorer.
Yeah, and you can tell why he's one of the best players in this region. Just has a silky smooth shot, is able to kind of get the ball where he wants. They do a really good job on inbounds plays getting him the ball. We talked about that. What he's got to do, though, is he's got to keep his emotions in check. You know, like we talked about, he really did. There was pretty much no doubt he got fouled. He didn't get the call, got frustrated, said something, got a technical foul, but he'll learn from that. He'll come back out. He's a senior. He has the ability and he has the experience to come back out, but he's one of the players they have to answer. If not, they're going to be in deep trouble.
Right now, they are in some trouble at 39-26, trailing at halftime. It's Douglas 39, Dunbar 26, and we will continue our halftime report in just a few minutes. But first, we'll take this break on Glycod.
New teen drivers are at greater risk for car crashes, particularly at night and during the first few months without adult supervision. Checkpoints is a free 1-hour educational program held monthly at the Jessamine Career and Technology Center in Nicholasville. It will help you help your teen be safer when they become a new independent driver. For more details, including program incentives and how to register, visit the Jessamine County Health Department's website at jessaminehealth.org.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking, insurance, investments, and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Looking for new ways to connect with your customer? Did you know that local grassroots marketing is the most effective? For a successful economic approach, email info@glycod.com or call 502-551-5027.
Donating plasma is an easy way to earn up to $600 a month as a new donor while saving lives. That's right. Every donation you make helps patients in need survive and thrive. Returning donors also see monthly bonus payouts and I Give Rewards points. Go to cslplasma.com to learn more about plasma donation. CSL Plasma. Good for you, great for life.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Keith Elkins along with Rick Reeves from Frederick Douglass High School in Lexington. 39-26 the score as the homestanding Broncos have the lead over Dunbar. Dunbar High School has run up some history now in their time in existence in this new iteration of Dunbar High School. And they were state runners-up back in 1993 and 94, Rick. I'm sure you remember those teams well with Cameron Mills and the first year Darnell Burton. And they lost to Marion County by 8, and then the next year lost to Fairdale by 3. So 2 great teams that very easily could have been state champions, and they could have 2 banners at Dunbar as representing state championship basketball.
Yeah, and that's what Dunbar wants to get back to. They want to get back to that tradition that they had. You said some great players have come there. With Baker playing there, just a lot of good names playing there. Let's look back at a little highlight here from the first half. We talked about with the defense, and then a nice block there as they came down the court. That's one thing that Frederick Douglass, they've been very, very active with their hands. I talked about that a lot, but that's just one thing. It's hard if you're playing for Dunbar to get those shots off, but they've talked about that at halftime. Let's see what kind of adjustments they make. That's one thing. I think it's, it's kind of a forgotten art that a lot of players, a lot of coaches just say, oh, at halftime just go in and get something to drink. But I think both these coaches are going to make little adjustments to make something different. And we talked about the first 3 or 4 minutes of this quarter is going to be huge for Dunbar, because if Douglas is able to push this lead out, it's going to be very hard for them to come back.
Yeah, there are varying thoughts on how much you should adjust at halftime, but it's going to depend on the situation. If you're like Dunbar is right now, and on a 13-point lead and on the edge of getting blown out, you want to use that time to possibly come up with something new, or at least reset a little bit to get back to what you were originally trying to do.
And what they can look back at is simply how well they played in the first quarter, something they need to get back to. Of course, Douglas has a lot to do with that, but Douglas is going to start with the ball.
And Kai Simpson is back in there as we start play here in the third quarter. Douglas up by 13. There's Chenault. He had a big first half. Webb on the side, and now Boone, who also had a big first half. There is Busen, and he is driving for the basket, and then the pass off, and the basket by Simpson. Nice pass.
Yeah, good job. Busen and Simpson had a couple of nice passes to each other. And good job using that rim to get to the other side, so it's hard to block that shot.
Now a steal by Webb. He's headed for the basket, and he missed the shot.
Oh, well, that could have been
missed opportunity right there.
Yeah, huge play.
Now a shot off the right side, no good, and Van Dyke with the attempt, and the rebound to Douglas, and here is Simpson hurrying things up the floor. Gives it to Busen, a spin and a drive, and missed the shot with the left hand, but Simpson's right there, and he's got two more.
Now you see why Simpson is such a vital part of this, and they've taken this lead up to 17. That's what we said the first couple minutes. Dunbar's got to find a way to get the ball in the basket, and they've got the guy who can do it right here with Spalding.
Spalding, look inside now. Gives it to Gadd, who hands it right back, and there's a foul as Spalding started his drive.
Yeah, one thing on that, Webb's a great football player, and he knows it's hard to steal that handoff, so just let that ball go. There's no need to reach and get a foul.
Bulldogs have the ball. They're not quite ready yet. I'm
not sure.
Whistle blows, or looks like we'll do it again.
Yeah, I was going to say the official handed the ball in. That's pretty much all you have to do. But
I would think you're ready after that.
Yeah.
Dunbar trailing now by 17.
Yeah, they've had different people on Spalding. Webb's on him now. Tried Chenault.
Haggard gets it to him. He fakes the jumper. Now takes one under pressure. Missed the shot. It's short. Rebound, battle for it. And Dunbar rebound underneath by Van Dyke. Couldn't get it to shot to fall. And here goes Busen. Down the middle he goes. Missed the shot. Rebound to Dunbar. Busen heads right for that basket. He creates, but he has no fear in heading for the basket. Here's a shot from the corner, and that one's good by Max Van Dyke.
Yeah, nice three-point shot. That's what you wanted. Got a good block on the other end. Spalding played great defense, got the ball to Van Dyke, and gets it back to a 14-point game.
That was a big basket for Dunbar as they try to stay in this thing. Under the 6-minute mark in the third quarter now. Douglas working an offense. A long one by Simpson is good.
Yeah, Simpson, I think it took a first half to kind of get him back on track, and he's looked like a different player here in the second half.
Yeah, looking for his shot and taking good ones.
Uh-huh.
Around the perimeter it goes. Into the hands of Spalding. He finds a teammate in the corner. Now back to Spalding. Left-hand shot going by, won't fall, and Simpson off with it.
Nice shot there with that left hand, but like I said, just rolled out.
Simpson again, good again.
Yeah, that's one of those. They've taken this lead up to 20 points, and what we're at, 3 minutes. That's what we said. 3 or 4 minutes is going to tell the game.
So now a 20-point lead. Dunbar working on offense, and here is Hilt from outside. His shot is short, and the rebound to Chenault. The Broncos on the run, and the layup by Simpson.
Yeah,
nice pass to him. So it's now 51-29. And we will take a break here with 4:46 to go in the third quarter. We'll be right back on Glycon.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The prescription pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Douglas pulling away now as we come back to play in the third quarter. 51-29 Douglas as Spalding is pressured near midcourt. Now the pass deflected. Bulldogs get it back. Van Dyke off the baseline. Deflected back into his hands. Spins in the lane with a nice shot.
Good job there. Again, he got the ball tipped back to him, was able to turn and get the ball in the basket to get this lead back down.
The lead is 20. Here goes Simpson. Starts toward the lane, and he walked.
Yeah. That time he was trying to make that one extra move, and a little bit of frustration there, but, you know, that's what happens when you've been out for a little bit and sick. Sometimes you force it just a little bit.
So Dunbar comes back up court. Halfway through the third quarter now as the Bulldogs moving on offense. Tried to go inside to Gadd, but there was a foul in there.
Mello Boone's going to get his, I think I said maybe his third foul.
Third foul on Boone.
Yeah, he set out most of the second quarter because of foul trouble, so he's got to be smart here and not get that fourth one.
Inside it goes, nice fake, and then the shot. Not successful, but he'll go to the line.
Yeah, Tyler Gadd did a good job. He's frustrated with himself, wanted to get the and one opportunity, but did a good job faking because those, like I say, Broncos can really jump out of the gym.
So Gadd to the line. And the right-hander gets the roll on the first one after it spins around the rim. Gadd a 64% free throw shooter coming into this one. And both these teams were in action last night. Coming back with 2 games in 2 days, but that sounds like a tournament schedule, and that's what they're looking for at this time of the year.
Yeah, that's the exact idea, is to get ready for those tournaments.
Long pass from Simpson across court to Webb. Now to Busen. He will take it and drive toward the lane, and he is fouled.
Yeah. He's also got to watch that. He really did hook the defender and didn't get that call, but that's something you got to watch. You just got to kind of keep those arms in because it's just a common thing to do that, and the officials can be watching for that.
So the Broncos will put it in play. Again, it comes to Busen, and he starts his drive. Had extended the hand a little bit that time. Here is a shot from the corner by Boone, and that one's off the rim, but coming up with it is Chenault. Boone's going to get another try. A 3 this time, bounces away. Now the Bulldogs have it. Off the right side, Van Dyke with the long one. Shot's no good, but a long rebound. Comes out to Mason Van Dyke. They try to go in the corner, and that one's tipped away and out of bounds. It'll be Dunbar's ball. It's good hands by Jackson Miller retrieving
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
That's to fix our, you know, I thought maybe Jackson was going to dive for that ball, but he did a good job getting it back in.
And it's back out there on the floor where it needs to be now. And here's a long one by Spalding. Missed the shot. Rebound. Up for it is Chenault, and he'll take it himself down the floor. Right side, Busen again starts right for that basket. Now scramble for it underneath, and out of bounds it goes.
It's one thing you notice about this Douglas team. Every one of their players can bring the ball up the court. There's not one player that is not able to do that, and that really helps you out, not having to make that pass and getting up quickly.
Shot out of the corner is no good by Simpson. Dunbar rebound.
Had a good look at it, just wouldn't go in the basket.
And Dunbar with the reset now will go into their offense. Trying to get some space for one of their shooters, like a Spalding. Here is Spalding pulling up now, and he connects. And a foul, so he'll go to the line. Well, didn't really get open from the screen, just created his own opportunity.
Yeah, he did, and was able to get the the three-point shot and the foul, so he's going to go for the 4-point play here, something you don't see always. But with that, it's interesting, though. He threw those legs out, and you have to watch that in the college game. You know, that can be called against you for a flop, but that time I don't think he flopped. He got knocked down, but you got to watch kicking those legs out.
His shot is on the way and in. So a 3-point play cuts the lead to 15 as we're under the 3-minute mark of the third quarter. Now Dunbar putting some pressure on in backcourt. Busen helps with the chore of bringing it up. They find the open man in the corner. Webb shot, though, is blocked.
Good job there. Good block by Tyler Gadd. Got up and got that block. And, you know, they've gotten this lead down. It was up to 22, down to, 14. So
Dunbar battling, and Douglas had applied the pressure and used that athletic ability they have to get some layups and stretch that lead out. But now it's 14. Here's Chenault driving, a whistle.
Yeah, that's a smart play. They just moved everyone outside, let Chenault go one-on-one. We talked about he is so quick, but if you're going to guard him, you need to make him go to the right because he's so left-handed. He can go to the right. He had that dunk in the first half with his right hand, but he really likes to go to the left, and I'd force him at least to go to the right at the beginning.
Broncos to put it in play. It's lobbed in over the head of Simpson, who goes and gets it in backcourt.
Good matchup here of Simpson versus Spalding.
Driving is Webb, pulls up with a jumper, missed it. And the rebound to Spalding. Looks up court, but brings it himself. Mason Van Dyke handling the ball outside, guarded by Simpson. Got a screen, but now goes to the left and then gets it back inside. Gadd battling for it, is knocked away. And now up ahead, a break for Douglas. And here goes Busen with the layup. Missed it. Couple of follows also come up short, and the Bulldogs get it back.
Good hustle there by Dunbar.
Hilt all the way, but then the block out of bounds by Chenault.
Yeah, that's what Chenault can do to you. Just so quick getting back down the court. And I thought for the next minute or so you're gonna rest both Busen and Kai Simpson, get ready for that fourth quarter run.
Yeah, Kaysen and Jones back in for Frederick Douglass with 1:42 to go in the third.
Officials are talking to the players, try to, slow it down a little bit.
Inbounds pass, and a good one off the inbounds play, but can't get the shot to fall. Now Douglas working, and Boone has an opening, and he takes it all the way in.
Yeah, he does a really good job of getting to the basket, but Dunbar quickly back down the court.
Van Dyke pulls up his shot block. Now here's Chenault going the other way for Frederick Douglass. Decides to hold it up this time.
Chenault has been a difference maker on both ends.
And Kaysen took an extra step before he started his drive. Tell me about what impressed you about Kaysen last night. This is a good young player.
He came in, I watched him play in the JV game, and of course the JV game, we don't know anything about any of the players, but he really stood out to me. He came in a tough situation and got 3 straight offensive rebounds on the same possession. And that right there, he stuck his nose in, and the spotlight was not too big for him last night.
53-37 the score. The left-hander out of the corner. Van Dyke is blocked, and now it's Chenault on the move for the Broncos. His layup no good. Retrieved down there by Webb, and his shot is blocked.
Good defense, bud.
Long pass cut off by Kaysen, and he runs it down in the corner.
Yeah.
Setting up is Jones for the 3.
Nice shot there. Another thing about Kaysen is I'm not sure he scored any points last night, but that's not what he was on the court to do, and that's knowing your role, and he did a good job.
Driving is Spalding, gets it out in the corner. Down the lane and down to the ground is Mason Van Dyke.
Yeah, that one kind of got twisted up with feet there and ended up getting the foul on Chenault, who's going to have to come out.
Yeah, 4 on Chenault, and now the end of the ball game is Jaden Dixon, JD. 20 seconds left in the third. And Douglas up by 19 over Dunbar. Now it's Webb on Spalding as they work with it out front. Spalding's seen a lot of different opponents tonight.
And they're going to run everyone at him to try to keep him.
Here's Spalding with 2 seconds. He's going to have to fire. He does, and it's in and out. And we've come to the end of the third quarter of play with the score. Frederick Douglass 56 and Dunbar 37. Right back for quarter number 4 in just a moment here on Glycod.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Back for the fourth quarter here at Frederick Douglass High School. Rick Reams. I'm Keith Elkins, and Jackson Miller is here, as is Isaac Gowdlick on camera tonight. And we saw Frederick Douglass stretch it out there, 13-point lead at halftime tonight. Now it's 19, and so we'll see what these teams try to do here in this fourth quarter. But Douglass has gotten things pretty much in hand right now, at least.
Yeah, at this point in time, one thing Douglass has to watch, they're in a little bit of foul trouble right now. So they're going to keep their players on the bench for the start of the fourth quarter. So just kind of see how they do, and they'll come back in if Dunbar is able to chip into this lead a little bit.
So here's Spalding into front court for Dunbar, and now a foul as they tried to go to the baseline.
Webb just kind of grabbed hold of him there. He was trying to get around him. What you got to do is you got to beat him. You got to beat him to that spot before they make that pass in. So you got to front him. You can't wait till the pass is coming in.
16 fouls on Frederick Douglass. That was the third on Webb. Bounce pass inbounds to Haggard, guarded by Webb. He's in some trouble over there, looking for a teammate. Gets it to Spalding, and he is fouled.
Spalding does a good job. You know, it's amazing. You throw that head back, and you get a lot of calls that way. Right now, Dunbar's going to be in the bonus here. So they're going to be shooting a lot of free throws, and right now they only have 2 fouls against them. So Broncos are a long way away from getting to the free throw line.
Spalding puts that one in. Unofficially 15 for Spalding. And nice form, nice result on both, and he hits 2, and it's 56-39.
Yeah, surprised he's only a 68% free throw shooter with that stroke. Very nice.
Here's Jones driving. Off to Dixon. Now Jones has it again. Down the lane he goes and pulls up for the short jumper.
Yeah, Jones, last night he played a very steady game. Didn't get a whole lot of offense from him last night, but that's 5 in a row for him.
Cade Hilt with the ball. Drives toward the corner. Haggard toward the lane now. Inside it goes. Van Dyke. Nice turn and nice bank shot.
Yeah, did a great job of getting around the defender to go in there and put the ball in the basket.
It was Max Van Dyke for the basket, 58-41. Now a deflection near midcourt, but Boone recovers for Frederick Douglass.
Yeah. Again, we're seeing kind of everyone can play point guard, and we're seeing all of them do it.
There is Kaysen, guarded by Spalding. Now the pass underneath, and the attempted layup by Dixon is blocked out of bounds.
Nice cut there. Webb found him and just kind of good cut, but good recovery there by Dunbar.
Score remains 58-41. Kaysen takes the inbounds pass. Floater along the baseline, no good. Short with that one, and a battle for the rebound will get a foul.
Yeah, Jones did a good job getting in there, getting the rebound, and got a foul. Should be underneath there.
Third foul on Haggard. Gadd comes back in for Haggard. Tyler McCord also in there for the Bulldogs. Noah Jones looks for an opening, and a collision there with Haggard as he went down the lane.
Yeah, Ben Haggard tried to beat him to the spot, but boy, he took the wrong direction. Had a hard foul there. Nothing dirty. It's just they just hit hard.
Yeah, Haggard picks up a couple of quick ones, and he's going to come out now. He has 4 fouls. Max Van Dyke back in the ball game for Dunbar with 6:34 to go, and a 17-point margin for Douglas. There's Boone along the baseline, and now Webb puts it up and in.
Nice rebound there. Was able to put that ball back in the basket.
Here is Cade Hill, tried to jam that one in there. Couldn't quite get there with it. And now the basket at the other end.
Yeah, and then
They
threw it
up again.
Then threw it away, coming back up the court. Cade Hill, I tell you what, if it may have brought the crowd down here. He came in left-handed, tried to dunk that, and was not able to do it. But then give up a basket on the other end, and then just make a really silly turnover, throwing the ball inbounds.
Ryan Carter, we see him, I believe, for the first time tonight, 6'3" senior.
Yeah, he played some minutes in the second half last night, but it is the first time we've seen him tonight.
62-41. Here's Dixon outside.
Right now you have Boone's the only starter that's still out there.
Inside it goes to Kaysen, makes a strong move, gets the basket.
Yeah, that's what you can see with him. It's interesting. He's not a huge guy, but boy, he does so well in that JV game. I'm not sure how many three-point plays he had just like that. That's where he's comfortable.
Kaysen, big bounce, and that one hit the top of the board.
Yeah.
Ethan Teal back in for Dunbar. He saw some first half action.
That gives him some more size in there.
Dunbar working on offense, and there is Spalding moving from the corner out to the top, and now the pass anticipated and intercepted and dunked by Armello Boone.
Yeah, Mello Boone with a great play. You know, they got a 25-point lead here. I think right now Coach Scarberry's just as happy to rest his starters.
Is Hilt moving against Jones. Back to Spalding. Nice switch over by Kaysen to cover him up, and now the ball is taken away. A float ahead to Boone, and he is fouled as he goes for the basket.
Boy, you got to be careful on that one. You get the intentional foul there, but a little frustration by Dunbar. But boy, Boone right now, we got a replay here of the last dunk as Boone comes out and just skies up and gets the dunk, and the Dunbar crowd, the Douglas crowd, as you can imagine, came up out of their seats. Just he's a high flyer, really nice sophomore basketball player. Tried to make him a freshman all last night, but he is a sophomore.
And the shot is good. Mason Van Dyke back in the ball game as Spalding comes out for Dunbar.
Yeah.
And again.
Play there got Eric Triplett has come in for Douglas also, number 13.
Yes, he has. Yep. 13 is Eric Triplett, 6'1" senior. Now whistle and a walk, and the ball will be turned back over to Frederick Douglass.
And we're going to let Spalding's going to sit out. I'm not sure he's going to come back in the game tonight. He's played a really good ball game, but at this point, 68-41. No reason to take a chance getting him hurt. Also get him a little bit of rest.
There's Noah Jones after the behind-the-back move. Got down toward the basket, but then drew the foul. Mason Van Dyke with the foul. That comes at the 4:34 mark. It's a 27-point lead for Frederick Douglass, and the winning streak looks to be in pretty good shape. They would move up to, is it 14 or 15 if they win?
If they win today, it'll be 14.
14, yeah, because they had the victory last night to make it 13.
So at this point in time, Douglas right now, Coach Scarberry told me last night he wanted to be the team that had a mark on their back that other teams won, and he's getting his wish right now.
Scramble on the rebound, and now it's in the hands of Boone. Drives to the basket, lays it in.
Just a smooth player there, and like I say, with that leaping ability, able to get up and as in the old days, they called it a dipsy-do there.
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Yeah, you can imagine the confidence you have when you can jump like that.
Exactly.
You're always going to get your shot off, nearly always.
Well, I say exactly. I don't know what it's like,
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm sure it's nice.
Now a foul as they battle for possession. I think that'll go against Triplett.
Yeah, Triplett. Van Dyke's going to go to the free throw line. Boone's going to check out. Nice ball game. That's the last we'll see of him tonight also. But he backed up that winning shot last night on the rebound with a nice quarter here.
Hilt out of the ball game for Dunbar as we come up toward the 4-minute mark. The free throw is good.
And I'm always on the sides of getting these players in that practice all week and they deserve to get in the game. But and my speaking was too quickly. Spalding is coming back into the game, so maybe trying to get him just to get a little bit more play and get him ready.
Inbounds pass comes to Jones. They put some pressure on him in backcourt, but he's able to beat the pressure and drive down toward the lane. And a shot out of the corner, no good.
There's that offensive rebounding by Kaysen again.
A drive and a foul, Jack Nagog.
They called him for a walk before they got the fouls.
He was the one that fired from the corner a moment ago.
Got the jump step there and got just a little bit ahead of himself.
70-43. It's all Douglas at this point. Here's a nice pass underneath. Shot's not good, but a foul is committed. That'll send Teal to the free throw line.
Nice pass in there to Teal, and he just kind of got hit by the side, which throws your shot off just enough time for him to get to the free throw line, get a couple free throws.
He's appeared in 16 games this year. Ethan Teal, a junior. And he hits, and he was 0 for 4 on free throws coming in, so he nails that one.
Yeah, surprising because that's a nice stroke.
Missed that one off to the right. Now a scramble for it, and Kaysen comes up with it for Frederick Douglass. Goes to Nagog, and now outside. The shot by Carter is good.
Nice play there. Carter's a thin build, but nice shot there.
Carter, a 6'3" senior, and that one drew a nice reaction from the Douglas fans. Nice dish by Spalding. Teal unable to convert, and now here is Jones driving for the basket, and he is fouled and goes about 6 rows up in the bleachers, but under control.
I was going to say, that takes some athleticism there because
yeah,
wasn't going to stop there. It reminded me of playing in some of the old gyms I played in where there was a wall right there.
Yeah.
Bryan Station Middle was infamous for that. There was no room on either end of the court, and he would have run right into the wall there.
Here's the shot. It is going to roll off. It's also a reminder of maybe making a mistake in practice and having to run up the steps and down.
Exactly. Again, not that I would know anything about that.
No.
Ha ha. But, yeah, I've heard that people had to do that.
That's the rumor. 73-44, second one good by Jones. Chris Wright back in the ball game for Douglas. And we have Jacob Carter in there for Dunbar. Bulldogs on the attack. Ball is knocked away, taken away, and then booted out of bounds by Carter. Just couldn't quite get control, and the foot got in the way before he could get the hands on it.
Got those long legs, so it's hard to get there. And now we're going to get some more of the players, and I think probably Spalding's coming out now. And
yeah, Spalding is out. Will Cron is in for Dunbar, number 55, a sophomore.
What I was saying is these guys go hard every day in practice. They deserve to get in these games. I was one of those, and it's always good to let those players come in and play.
Driving is Cron, turned for the right-hand hook, missed it, and the rebound brought down by Nagog, ahead to Kaysen, and he scoops and makes the layup.
Cason's, he's the one you need to watch. He's a freshman, and he's only going to get better, but nice body control and went in there with the right-handed layup.
2:35 to go. It's now a 32-point margin for Douglas. Nice pass underneath and the layup by Cron.
Oh, nice pass.
Cason goes in the corner, and Magog called for the walk, just trying to get too quick a start on that drive to the basket.
Yeah, your problem right now is you get your feet moving before the ball gets on the ground, and Cason's going to come out. That's the last we'll see of him. He had another good game.
More substitutions. Jake Simonson in the ball game now for Dunbar.
Try to get all these players' names on the air. They deserve that.
Here's a bounce pass inside. Again, a nice pass. Nice dish from Van Dyke, and the shot made by Teal that time.
Yeah, nice rotation.
And the rebound to Douglas momentarily, but now Carter has it, and now a scramble for it. And here come the Bulldogs. Left-hand shot by Van Dyke, no good. Rebound to Triplett up ahead to Chris Wright. And the drive, and the shot is short. And now a nice pass from Van Dyke, but through the hands of Cron that time, and out of bounds with 1:25 to go.
Yeah, good play. Good run there by Cron, but he just couldn't hold it in, but a nice pass.
Benny Mombaye was the pronunciation that Wes Scarberry gave me, so I'll go with that, and he is in the ball game. Nice pass underneath, and the layup by Simonson.
Nice look. Nice job by Simonson, but a very even nicer pass.
78-48 as we come up on the final minute of this ball game. Nice bounce pass inside, and then a walking call. Well, Mason Van Dyke has delivered some nice passes here in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
He has. He's doing a good job. And, that's the thing. A player like that who plays a lot, he could go out there and try to score, but he's trying to get these other guys involved in the ball game, and that's very admirable.
The three for Mombaye. Mwamba is what Ryan Lemon is going with. So
we'll go with Ryan on this one.
He's the PA announcer here, of course, and here's a nice pass, and then the layup by Cron. I believe, no, Thiel. Thiel made it. And follow up, no good. 20 seconds to go.
I would say these teams are going to hold the ball, but they're not going to.
And the long one in the air, no good. And shot by Jacob Carter of Dunbar. He can hit that three.
Yeah.
A couple in the game last night against Catholic.
I'm going to go with bonus on the other end. I think you like to see Douglas's bench is all standing up. They're clapping for their players. Sometimes they're laughing along with them, but great to see these guys get in and get some extended time. Came in with about 4 minutes left, so good to get on the court.
Shot missed and scooped up by the Bulldogs, and we'll play the final seconds of this ball game. Mason Van Dyke, 4 seconds. Somebody's going to have to put it up. Don't have to, but they should before it ends. But nope, no shot at the end, but it's a 31-point win for the Frederick Douglass Broncos over the Dunbar Bulldogs. The final, Douglass 81 and Dunbar 50, and we'll get back and start our post-game report in just a moment here on Glycod.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Anderson Apothecary, the cure for the common drugstore. Anderson Apothecary, just across the street from the high school on Highway 127.
Community strong, serving Lawrenceburg for 20 years, Century Bank is Anderson County's locally owned bank with a full suite of deposit, loan, and online products, plus a knowledgeable, friendly staff, Century makes everyday banking simple. Located at 201 West Woodford Street with online banking at centurybankky.com. Century Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
Want to replace your old, rotted, and drafty windows? What would your house look like with the newest and high-quality windows on the market? With just one call to Metro Windows, you can choose from a great selection of aluminum-clad, vinyl, and rot-free windows at an affordable price. And Metro Windows can also replace just the glass and failed windows, too. Their installers are Oldham County residents that take pride in their work and craftsmanship. Metro Windows has been locally owned for over 30 years and is the proud carrier of the Windsor window line. Give Metro Windows a call today at 222-7828. That's 222-7828, Metro Windows.
Hi, I'm Glenn Downs, pharmacist and owner of the Prescription Pad in Nicholasville. We are an independent community pharmacy that provides personalized service. We offer free home delivery, medication compliance packaging, compounding, and home medical equipment. Getting your medications from us means no need to wait in line or on the phone for minutes. Visit us at 465 Keene Center Drive in the Keene Shops in Nicholasville or by phone at 859-887-2841. The Prescription Pad is dedicated to your family's health.
You're tuned in to Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Back to wrap things up at Frederick Douglass High School. The Frederick Douglass Broncos extend their winning streak to 14, Rick, and they were very impressive. Dunbar came out and battled them hard that first quarter, and then they began to stretch out the lead with the things that they do so well.
Yeah, and what we talked about and what Coach Scarberry talked about was the change of defense, the changing of the momentum that happened. Their offense kind of goes along with that. They were able to do that, get this game pretty easily in hand, had a little bigger lead at halftime. We talked about with that 13, was it going to go up to 20 or was it going to go back down? Douglass was able to extend it to 19, and then Dunbar was able to get it back a little bit. But then after that, about the middle to the end of the third quarter, the game got out of hand.
Yeah, and as we mentioned in that first quarter, it seemed like Dunbar came in with a good plan, and they executed it well in the first quarter. But Douglass came in with a good plan as well, and they have the athletes that they need to put that pressure defense on. And Douglass is going to be, as they say, a tough out once the tournament time rolls around.
Yeah, and they've won the last 3 district tournaments, have been in the last 2 regional finals, haven't quite made it to the state yet. But this school is known for their athletic prowess, and we're seeing that in basketball. The girls' team is having a great year also. So that's what they want to do. I think it took a little bit of time for Kai Simpson to get kind of his legs back underneath him, had a really good second half. But now I don't think you're going to have to see him on limited playing time. If he feels okay, this team's going to be even better because he's going to be at full strength.
Yeah, we talked about earlier the Dunbar history with the 2 state runners-up back in the 90s. And as we've talked about on some broadcasts before, the Douglass team, they're writing the history because this is a fairly new school, and so they are making some history with their football championship and now an excellent basketball team as well. So today, many standouts for Douglass, but we thought Avion Chenault was particularly good.
Yeah, he just played all over the court. We talked about it. He's got such quick leaping ability, was able to get a lot of three-point plays. I think it ended up with 16 points. But that really is not the whole thing to Avion Chenault. He's just a different game changer, the way he can block shots, the way he can go in and get dunks, the way he can avoid the fouls and everything. So I thought he had a great game, was impressed with him last night, but even more so tonight.
And game changer is the word because this game was close at the end of the first quarter, and Chenault had an awful lot to do with them beginning to stretch out that lead.
Absolutely. He runs the baseline very, very well and was able to get some open shots, was able to hit some big shots and get some fouls for three-point opportunities.
Nick Spalding led the way for Dunbar as as he often does, and he battled hard. In fact, every shot's a battle when you're playing a team like Douglas that can come at you with so many different weapons, and he faced the same thing at Catholic last night. And we saw him lose his composure briefly today, but he really has to battle for those shots that he does get.
Yeah, and he does a nice job moving without the ball, getting his shots off and everything. Made some nice passes tonight. You can see why Coach Scarberry talked about him being one of the best players in the region. He definitely is. He needs some other players with him at this point in time. It's a little bit hard, but he had a really, really good game. I mean, we talked about Cade Hilt had one big dunk and almost had a second big dunk, but I think Spalding showed why he is the man that averages 21 points a game, and he lived up to that, that ability tonight.
So the final score is Douglas 81 and Dunbar 50. And we hope you enjoyed our broadcast on Glycod tonight as the Douglas Broncos run their record to 17-2, a 14-game winning streak, and Dunbar drops to 6-14 on the year. Their losing streak has reached 5. Both teams back in action on Tuesday night. Rick Reams, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Keith. It's been a great night.
And Jackson Miller, our producer, and Isaac Gowdick on camera tonight. So, again, thanks for tuning in. This has been Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
You've been watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
For schedule information about our upcoming broadcasts, visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @Glycod. We thank you for tuning